But we have Spencer on Naya Blitz.
Yes.
And Daniel on Dark Naya. So why don't you run us through Spencer's list? Any anomalies or standouts?
Nope, it's pretty straightforward. 3 Thalia, 1 Gork Clan Rampager, and just straight 4 Spear. We've seen some Boros Charms and Selesnya Charms and stuff. None of that.
If I'm not mistaken, it's the exact same main deck as Kyle Dembinski, who we've seen twice already.
Yeah, it appears so.
Over here on Daniel Duskang, we actually have something a little interesting. It's Dark Naya, although not without the Rakdos' returns that made the archetype an attractive choice a season ago, I guess I should say, something like that.
If not return, what are we splashing?
We're splashing for Olivia Voldaren, 2 in the main deck.
Powerful creature.
Yep, and that's our only black access in the main deck. We have another Olivia in the sideboard, 1 Rakdos' return in the board, and 2 Slaughter Games.
I was going to say, Slaughter Games is
a heavy incentive in the sideboard.
Likely the biggest incentive there.
One of the more interesting cards that Daniel is running is Assemble the Legion.
Card we've talked about a lot today.
Yep, we've seen it on camera, in fact, and it, including it alongside Garruk Primal Hunter, 4 Thragtusk, and 2 Thundermaw Hellkite, mean that Daniel has 10 5-drops in his deck. That's a lot.
That is indeed quite a few high drops. What do we have? Pilgrims and Farseeks to get us there?
Yep. I imagine in this matchup he'll be siding out several of them, most likely the Thundermaw Hellkites.
He's indeed the control here.
Thundermaw Hellkite, while effective and efficient, I don't really like keeping it in against aggressive decks unless you're on like a Aurelia plan, because it can kill someone in 2 turns with Aurelia, which is a nice luxury to have against those aggressive decks.
But otherwise, it's pretty much just the 5/5 for 5 vanilla blocker.
Lava axe you. I'm dead? Well, that sucks.
Oops, yeah. Probably should have played defense, that Hellkite.
5 mana go.
Yeah. Well, it looks like Dark Naya did take game 1, which is kind of a big deal, right?
Yeah, if it's on the play, I actually like it a fair bit in the matchup, and Daniel's list is well suited with main deck 3 Searing Spear, 1 Mizium Mortars, and a Garruk Relentless as an additional 4-drop to short up. Plus, he's got 4 Boros Reckoners. If he lands one of those on turn 3, it's tough for any creature deck.
Yeah, Reckoner is one of the cards that is least talked about, but most powerful against the Blitz decks. Like, it's a fairly common card to see, right? Mm-hmm. But decks that could play it and are never considering it for this matchup. It's just like, oh, I don't like Reckoner in my deck or whatever. But like, it is honestly one of the best anti-aggro creatures printed in a long time. And especially when all of the aggro deck's creatures are like 2/2s and 3/3s, they match up like very favorably. So I have to assume, because he does seem a little light on removal main, to have won a game 1 against Blitz. But the Reckoners, I have to assume, played a big role.
Yeah, I actually tried cutting Reckoners from these Nihilists when I was experimenting myself with Dark Naya to try a Borderland Ranger engine, and I lost a few matches to Red Deck wins and just decided, you know what, no, I'm going to go back to these Reckoners and just stop this nonsense, and I did.
Yeah, it's just the most efficient. Like, they can't attack past it, they can't, like, alpha through it, and if they want to kill it, then they have to, like, sacrifice a guy, 2 for 1 themselves.
Spencer is running the pacifisms, which we've seen also as Bonds of Faith, as answers to Boros Reckoner and Thragtusk.
That is one of the cleaner answers to the Boros Reckoners.
Really awkward against Restoration Angels, though.
That is true. That is very true. If you like Bonds of Faith, a Thragtusk, and it gets Restoration Angels,
that was the sound of me vomiting. To anyone who can't see
that is very hard to come back from.
Interestingly enough, Naya Blitz is one of the archetypes that I think actually can't make fantastic use of Volcanic Strength, which is the other R people turn to against Reckoner and Thragtusk, because it really needs to be attacking with everybody to get a lot of the action going. With things like Lightning Mauler and Boros Elite, they're really just not that impressive when they're by themselves. Mayor of Averbrook is certainly not there to give one guy +1/+1. He's a team player.
Yeah, and I mean that's what you see with the frontline medic and, as you said, the Lightning Mauler. It is a battalion deck. Yeah. In essence, it's a swarm strategy, and Volcanic Strength doesn't exactly, while being powerful and being good theoretically in those matchups, it doesn't exactly go with the aggressive game plan that Blitz has.
Yep, it's interesting to see the dichotomy between the pacifism effects and the Volcanic Strength effects in this particular Reckoner-defined metagame.
It's actually what Spencer has here is Gruul Charm out of the board, which is a pretty interesting one.
Yeah.
Because what's better than Volcanic Strength, a single guy unblockable creature, is a Falter. when you're swarming. So I guess that makes sense.
Sure, seems totally reasonable to me. We're having some camera difficulties. In case you couldn't tell, Spencer is not actually under a strobe light.
Spencer is actually the first mechanical magic player ever made, and he, bringing
deep blue.
Yeah, making a deep run. Yeah, it's deep U. Resolving mulligans here. Spencer on the play, and the champion, the ideal start. So what removal post-board is the Naya player bringing in?
He's got access to 2 Pillar of Flame to supplement what he already has, 2 Oblivion Ring, and 3 Centaur Healer are also an option.
Right.
I imagine those are reasonable, just trimming the curve a little farther.
I was about to say,
down.
You're just lowering your average curve, turning your 5s into 3s.
Yep. Well, Daniel shocked himself to start with a turn 1 Pilgrim. Spencer has just a Boros Elite to pump his champion and nothing else. Interesting.
Kind of a, so-so turn 2.
I feel like he must have mulliganed, right? No? He's only
1,
got
2, 3, 4, 5,
7
6,
cards.
7.
Yeah, they're both on 6 cards.
He started
yep.
on 6, for sure.
Okay. Both have mulled to 6 for this game, so this makes the game state make a little more sense.
More Pilgrims. Another land. These Blitz decks, they play very few lands. This one running 20. Yeah. Flooding out with this deck is not good.
You don't have things like Keswick Wolfrod to actually leverage it.
Right. You actually need literal spells. There's no cheating with the spell lands. And not only do you need actual spells, you need a bunch of them. Because the cards work together. You are attacking en masse.
Spencer obviously not willing to risk a Boros Elite trading here. That would take him off Battalion. And Daniel appears to be considering a chump, considering he's going to be playing Huntmaster next turn regardless.
Yeah, he doesn't have the...
He's shy of Black Source for that Olivia.
Black for the Olivia, so this is just going to be a Huntmaster, bide some time, try and get to the point where Olivia can take the game over. It looks like he does have a Farseek, so he's just, stabilizing the board a little, trying to create some space for himself, to give him the turn off he needs to get Olivia into play.
I think that I probably would have cast the Farseek this turn, to be honest. We're not dealing with Battalion from that frontline medic by playing this Huntmaster. We're just going to get hit in the face.
Just eat 9 and get the black out there?
I mean, are we not just eating 9 this turn, What else are we doing? And we don't have any way to take him off Battalion, whereas before we could hope he didn't have another creature and then be able to play and activate Olivia maybe next turn. I don't know. This just seems like we're going to be dead before we ever do anything.
Yeah, I think that line follows if you don't chump with the Pilgrim the turn before.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Once you chump, you're kind of priced into playing Huntmaster, but I agree that is an interesting line, definitely worth looking at from Daniel's side. But it looks like now he has to take the turn off to Farseek, he's got nothing else.
Yeah. He can't, and just passing doesn't really accomplish much because he can't take Spencer off Battalion.
Exactly.
He'll just be getting hit again.
So you can kill one of the Boros Elites, and then your 4/4 blocks the frontline medic. You're still taking
7.
7?
Yeah, 7 will put him to 5 unless he throws away the Pilgrim as well.
That is a lot.
And that's assuming Spencer doesn't draw anything to increase the damage.
Which thankfully for Daniel he doesn't. Yeah. But this is still a fairly tremendous board position.
I don't think Spencer can afford to block with the Pilgrim because I think his best hope is to draw another spell and flip his Huntmaster back next turn.
Yes.
So he can play Farseek and a 4-drop or less, but he's going to go for a 3-drop or less, which is a lot tougher for him to hit off the top of the deck. He
what did he limit his range to?
He now can't draw more Huntmasters or Restoration Angels, which are,
or the Garruk Relentless.
Or the Singleton Garruk Relentless, yeah.
That is correct.
Gonna draw.
Looks like a Huntmaster.
Yep, and now you see, if we had kept the Pilgrim, we'd be able to play Farseek and a Huntmaster, gaining another Huntmaster trick.
Reflip the Ravager of the Fells back into a Huntmaster, getting another 2 life and another Wolf. That's a lot of chump blockers, and, the next turn you can either pass or maybe Spencer doesn't have a play. You guys flip back, you can actually kill the frontline medic.
Yeah, killing the frontline medic with double Huntmaster flip would have, completely reversed what's happening in this game.
That would have stabilized the board. Instead, it's Huntmaster and, the Ravager can block a 3/3 again. but that's 7 indestructible damage.
I think he's going to throw away the wolf on the champion here and block a 3/3 and just hope Spencer fails to draw a spell. But that's not what happened.
It looks like a Searing Spear, which is a pretty good answer to the Huntmaster of the Fells. Figuring out his attacks, Battalion you. And sure enough, he does come up with your blocks, Glenn.
It's because I'm a genius.
Yeah, you are the greatest magician ever to play the game.
And Daniel, crossing his fingers, this Huntmaster gets to flip the second one, but not going to happen.
No, sir.
Searing Spear certainly will either put Daniel to 5 or kill the Huntmaster. I think he has to kill the Huntmaster, probably.
Yeah, I think I like killing the Huntmaster here. And
it's too greedy to not.
I mean, you need to maintain Battalion, right?
Right.
If he had another creature, maybe you could let it flip, hold the spear a little longer, see what happens. But the 2 damage to the Boros Elite from the Ravager of the Fells would pull him off of Battalion. His frontline medic no longer gets to attack. The Ravager can then potentially trade with the champion, and at that point you have no attacks left. You have no offense.
We drew a Restoration Angel here, and we're going to telegraph it by attacking with our Ravager. But it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, he's got no hands, whatever.
Like,
it's just a little funny because, as Spencer, you're just like, oh, God.
One sec, let me get a stapler and put this Resto Angel on my forehead. And it looks like he appears to have gone ahead and done that on his turn.
Yeah, so that if Spencer doesn't have a spell, it flips.
Yep, and that is correct. I like that play. He gained no value by trying to surprise his opponent with a Resto Angel there, as we humorously discussed already.
Yes, and another Searing Spear.
Good draw.
For the Huntmaster again. I think you just attack here, right?
Yeah, everybody. What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah, exactly. Frontline Medic kind of makes it foolproof. Just send them all.
I'm glad that we've printed such skill-intensive Magic cards in this day and age as Frontline Medic.
Yes. And the clowns are sent. Wolf chumps. Daniel eats 3 down to 7. And I have to assume the Huntmaster is going to eat a spear. You could also finish off the Angel here, but
we gotta kill the Huntmaster.
Because again, Daniel can just pass, kill the Elite, Battalion is off, and this is not only a Battalion deck, but a very Battalion-heavy draw.
Daniel draws his own Searing Spear, and that's going to change a lot of this math.
Yes. Frontline Medic no longer absolutely dominating combat like it has been for the past 4 turns.
Farseek for a Black Source, and I think I don't know, do you hold for a Spear here? Do you hold until his turn, I mean? Because, like, it's a little risky if you think your opponent might have access to giant growth effects. But I think you gain so much value by getting to eat a guy with the Angel, too.
Well, you have to do it before attacks anyway. Otherwise, your guys are indestructible.
Well, in that case, I definitely just use it.
Yeah, there's no.
I was thinking that it doesn't check twice.
Right. The only reason to wait would be like Restoration Angel, I guess.
No,
but he can't even cast it. Yeah, just kill it now. And Daniel does do it correctly.
Kill it with fire.
Die, medic, die. I thought medics were supposed to be, protected under the Geneva Convention. Is that?
Not when they're big jerks like that one. Man. That guy's running around hitting people in the face, attacking for 3 damage.
That's true.
Doesn't look very medic-y to me.
So Spencer draws another lands. I think Angel just chumps here.
Yeah, I think that this chump is okay. We have, admittedly, already seen 2 Searing Spears, but we really don't want to see a 3rd one.
Yeah.
So. Olivia, that is.
Yeah, Olivia.
Hopefully just enough.
Kill the Elite, but now you actually can't trade. Because you kind of need that Olivia to win.
Can't trade or shouldn't trade?
Shouldn't, I feel. I may be wrong there.
Lightning Mauler is going to make it impossible for Daniel to trade anyway.
Indeed, indeed.
I imagine Spencer just plays it and gets Daniel to 2. Like, attacking with Lightning Mauler, I think, is actually slightly better than not attacking with it, since he won't get a counter on the Olivia.
Right.
Amusingly enough, the suicide attack better than the no attack.
I mean, he could not attack, which would be playing around a Black Source. but you know, it's that versus.
Yeah, I don't even think that, like, you're not... I mean, you gain value from him drawing a Black Stars, because then he'll just steal the champion and you still have Lightning Mauler, but it's not like you can attack with the Lightning Mauler anyway. Like,
yeah.
So the fact that it's still in play is mostly irrelevant at that stage. And now it looks like Olivia's just going to cowboy up here.
Yeah, I mean...
God, it's depressing how many games we've watched Olivia win today.
It is so good
Thoroughly
right now.
depressing.
It is so good. I mean, there's so many small creatures and so little pieces of hard removal, so few pieces of hard removal. And, you know, every deck has Farseek, and the games like enter this sort of, I don't want to say late game, but this sort of top deck mode.
You can force the games into just attrition,
Yeah.
and then whoever's, you know, got the strongest card at the end wins, and Olivia just is the strongest card when your opponent has nothing else.
Exactly. So he drew a spear to actually finish off the champion.
Not satisfied with just being the big one. Strangely enough, like, do you think he... I mean, I think I attack here, right? Like, he's at 9. Let's just get him dead in a turn.
Dead in 2 versus dying to, say, Flint Hoofboar?
Yeah. I actually don't think I like using the spear that way. I think I would have just grown my Olivia so that it could block. And like held
Spear
access
the
to the
dome,
spear,
kill
and then
them in
end
one.
step, spear the dome, untap, attack.
And if he plays the Flint Hoofboar, say, then you know about it,
Yeah,
and you can
exactly.
spear that, and...
It's basically foolproof, because either way you're untapping into killing him.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not quite sure what he was playing around there, but...
Because now we just have to like wait for another creature to show up to grow our guy big enough, if we're going to be playing scared the whole time anyway.
Right.
Provided you have at least 2 or more match wins.
Oh, here it comes.
I think we might have drawn a creature.
Maybe
my guess.
removals? Maybe...
Or maybe he just feels safe with 6 mana up. He's like, nothing can beat 6 mana.
Yeah, I mean, the Flint Hoofboar is going to get shot anyway.
I mean, an end-step restoration range would be awkward, but he assumes, I guess, his opponent's not playing those.
Lightning Mauler does not quite do it, and it looks like the match will be going to Daniel in a moment.
Daniel's like, ooh, you got me, or no?
And there it is.
All right, well, Daniel
Olivia
gets there.
wins another one.
You know, an amusing anecdote I have for Olivia, actually, is...
Is it about the art?
No.
Okay.
When the Gatecrash set came out, I actually kind of had a feeling, just looking through things, Olivia